Hey you, welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
I'm wife.
And together we're reading the Bible.
Starting with Genesis and eventually ending with Revelations, we're working through every book and offering our atheist 2 cents.
Or shekels.
Yeah, those. We're asking questions and pointing out all the nonsense.
We aren't academics or scholars.
Nope. In fact, when it comes to religion, we really don't know anything at all.
What we've learned so far is that God's a dick.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? If you're interested in how we reached this startling conclusion, maybe start from episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in anywhere. It's all good.
Yep.
Hey wife, we just got a new sponsor. It's Anchor. They must think we're doing something right because they picked us back up.
That's amazing. Want to hear something even more amazing?
Yeah?
I actually know what they are.
You are full of shit. I'm calling your bluff. Tell me about Anchor.
Okay, so Anchor by Spotify is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place.
I'm actually surprised you knew that, but did you also know that Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer?
Yes, because I see you do that on your phone all the time and it looks pretty simple.
It really is, and when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
But I use CastBox.
Yeah, darling, I know you like CastBox. It gets distributed there too, and lots of other platforms as well.
And how much are we paying for this awesome service?
Absolutely nothing.
Coolio! So then we should tell people to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started?
Yep, do it now.
Husband!
Wife.
'Tis Tuesday.
It is.
And you had an announcement to make, I believe?
Yeah, so starting Thursday, we're going to be doing 1 chapter per day, daily, Monday through Friday. So we're going to a daily podcast, and on Saturdays, we will be doing our Q&As to wrap up the questions from the Monday through Friday podcast. And then on Sundays, we will be doing a weekly roundup where we combine all the episodes from the previous week into one giant episode so that the people that want to listen to it all at once can.
That sounds cool.
It is cool. I'm kind of excited about it, actually. I'm really excited about it because we need to finish this quicker.
Yeah, that's mostly...
We were on pace to finish it in 11 and a half years prior to doing this, so this puts us down below 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, doing 2 chapters per week versus doing 5 chapters per week.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's exciting.
It was needed, and it's coming, and we'll announce it again on Thursday. Obviously, that'll be the first time that we're doing only 1 chapter at a time as a regular ongoing thing.
We had been hoping to wait until after we finish Deuteronomy so that we could make this start fresh with...
But that would be months away.
I know.
And we really need to get on track with this and get this going.
I know. We were fuck that. Let's just do it now.
Yeah,
fuck it.
So we're doing it now.
Fuck it. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. We're going to daily.
Yeah. Woohoo.
All right. So what are we doing today then?
Today we are answering some questions given that it is Tuesday.
Of course. I believe I remember something about giants.
Yeah, because they were like, we even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak.
Yeah.
And I was like, the fuck is Anak?
And giants. You love giants.
I love giants.
They might be giants.
They may be giants. There may be giants.
There may be giants?
Yeah. Isn't that what it is?
No, the band is They Might Be Giants.
There might be giants?
They might be giants.
They might be giants. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm really tired. I did math all day. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, you can't even speak right now.
I'm like, what?
So just, on my 2 cents, if you don't know who They Might Be Giants are, you should go check them out.
It's a good band.
It's a great band.
Okay.
All right, let's get into the giants.
Let's do it.
Hey, wife.
Yes, husband.
Did you know that we are now on Patreon?
Yes, because you told me, but also, no, tell me more.
So we're on Patreon now.
Are we?
We are, and our supporters can go there and support us, and we have multiple levels all the way up to You Killed God.
That sounds really drastic and escalated quickly-ish.
Well, no, there's multiple levels before there. So it escalates on a sliding scale of, cheap to not cheap. But, we can definitely use any amount. So, like, any support is always appreciated.
So, what exactly is Patreon?
It's a place where you can show your support for our podcast. And
just our podcast?
Any podcast or any performer. But, we're the ones that, you're listening to right now. So maybe you should, support us. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But we love you anyway.
So all you got to do is go to Patreon, look up Sacrilegious Discourse. It's actually patreon.com/Sacrilegious Discourse is our actual main page there. So head on over and send us some love.
Yeah. Okay, so, who is Anak?
Anak. Okay.
He's a guy.
Who the fuck is he?
He was a guy. He was a Rephaite, and he was the son of Arba.
Of course.
Right.
Arba. Yeah.
Now, here's where I have to be careful because of two reasons.
Okay.
One is that in coming chapters of this particular book, we are going to hear more about Joshua, who is going to be saying some things here shortly.
Got it.
Okay, so, spoilers.
Spoilers. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
So that's one reason I have to be careful.
I don't even like spoilers because it ruins what
what little good there is in this.
Just saying.
Okay, so here's the other reason I have to be careful when I talk about this stuff, because when I start talking about the what are they called? The Rephaites the Rephaim.
Okay.
And the difference between them and the Nephilim. It gets into
those are the angel things.
Right. I'm gonna get there in a minute.
Okay. I was just clarifying.
I know. I'm gonna get there. Stop. Jesus Christ. Okay, so when I start talking about those two things, and the differences between them, it gets into some real hinky shit.
Okay.
I'm gonna go off topic here just for a minute.
Okay.
And let's talk about the difference between the Nephilim and the God damn it, what are these called? Rephaites.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Of which the Anakites were.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. The Anakites part of the Nephilim and the other thing.
Yeah, whatever.
Raffles.
So some people use the term interchangeably, but most people don't.
Okay.
Because the Nephilim, as you mentioned, when you were very excited to
angels
clarify.
Yeah.
They're not angels.
No, they're angels.
They
that fuck
are
people.
fallen. Yes, they are fallen, or they are also known as demons because they are fallen.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They might even have been the reason for the flood, for Noah's flood.
Okay.
Noah and the flood, God's flood. Noah rode the flood.
Sure.
Because they were man angels porking and impregnating human women.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So, hypothetically, the flood wiped them out and they were done and gone.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I'll get back to that in a minute. Right now, I'm just talking about...
that would put an end to that.
Sure. Yeah. Hypothetically. Okay? I will get back to that in just a second. Okay?
Yeah.
Right now, we're talking about the difference between those guys, those angel boys, or demon angel boys, and the Rephaites. Okay? And the Rephaites were merely just tall people.
Okay. It's like Shaq.
Like Shaq, yeah.
Okay.
Like super tall, ridiculously large, tall people.
Got
okay?
It. Okay.
Sometimes people are tall, Sometimes people are short.
That also happens too.
So, I mean, I have traveled a lot in my life, and I have been places where the people are fucking big and tall. When I lived in Hawaii, a lot of Samoans would come there, and the Samoans as a whole are a very tall people.
Right.
And I, being short, severely felt that. So, I'm just saying, there are tall people, and there are short people.
Right.
And then there's me, and I'm in the middle, but on the short side.
Sure.
Okay? So,
I found out recently that I'm not tall anymore.
You're not tall anymore at all.
I went to a high school graduation
tall for ages.
in 2012.
Yeah.
And I used to be one of the tallest kids in my school. And now I was dwarfed by lots of kids. And I was like, what the fuck?
The girls were towering over you.
Right? I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I used to be tall.
And now you're
I'm 6'1".
And you're just
that's
average
just nothing now.
Yeah. There's a lot of tall people out there.
That's nuts.
It is nuts.
But whatever.
Yeah. I think it's because, like, people think that tall people are, like, so hot and sexy, and so they, like, all hook up, and then so people get taller and taller, but then, like, it goes back and forth, because then they're like, oh, but the shorties are so cute.
At some point, though, ceiling fans become impractical.
I know. It's true. It's true. Okay, so that was the difference between the Nephilim and the Rephaites. Okay?
Yeah.
So, going back to the Nephilim for just a moment, even though that's not what we're here to discuss today, this is where it gets into some hinky-ass shit that it was just so interesting. I fell down the rabbit hole. Okay? So, there are people who claim that the Nephilim did not get wiped out by the flood, and that they exist still to this day. To this day. And that you can...
Does this have anything to do with Pizzagate?
I mean, I wouldn't, like... I was silent for a second there because, like, conspiracy theory...
Right.
Check.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Because there are people who claim that you can tell who is a descendant of a Nephilim by certain physical traits. Or because we have different blood types and some of us still have, like, Neanderthal DNA and others don't, right?
Okay.
Like, that is something that we have recently found, right?
Sure.
Okay, so they are saying that, and also Nephilim, you can tell by...
By what, though?
There are certain traits, and there are certain DNA markers, and there... look, I'm just telling you what I read. I don't believe this shit, okay? But,
I can trace my heritage back to angels.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. But they're fallen angels, so you don't want to be, like, excited about that. So the people that...
I mean, I'd be excited about that.
Okay, but in the hinky realm that I am discussing...
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, these Nephilim people, you can tell who they are by looking at them. And then other ones are like, no, you can't. That's ridiculous. But you can tell by markers in their blood, right? And so then other ones are like, yeah, and they're the movers and the shakers in the world. And
the fact that there are discussions about this and then disagreements within that discussion is really kind of disturbing.
Yeah, and I was not even on Reddit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how crazy this shit is. I wasn't even on Reddit, and I found these people are arguing. Okay, so there is one particular guy. This is going back on track a little bit. Okay, so do you remember the Og, the king of Bashan? We talked about
Og of Bashan.
Og of Bashan, yeah.
Yeah, Oshkosh Bagosh.
Oshkosh Bagosh, yeah. So it is suggested that he was one of the last survivors of the Rephaim. Okay, so a giant.
Sure.
Okay, but not a Nephilim.
Right,
okay?
because they might have been wiped out in the flood, maybe.
Right, except that there are some hinky people who say, no. Rephaim and Nephilim are interchangeable, and he stowed away on
the
ark.
Whoa.
And lived for over 3,000 years.
Whoa.
Right? And that there are people alive today
on the ark.
descended from Og.
That's freaking awesome.
Okay, now I'm going to give you a spoiler because we're going to read about this a little bit further ahead.
Okay.
But apparently, it has been recorded that Og was so huge, such a giant, okay? His bed was 9 cubits long in ordinary cubits. Now, what the fuck is an ordinary cubit, right?
Cubit is the length of... the length from the tip of your middle finger to your elbow.
Yeah, it's a man's forearm.
I don't know what an ordinary one is, but, you know.
Right. So that would make the bed over 13 feet long, or even longer if the cubit was based on a giant's forearm.
Wow.
His bed was big because dude was a giant.
Apparently, if he was 13 feet plus.
His bed was 13 feet plus.
Right.
Okay.
Still.
Yeah. So
maybe dude just likes big beds. You know, toss and turns.
I like big beds, and I cannot lie. Okay, so who is Og? I don't fucking know.
Og is awesome.
He is kind of cool, right? I mean, we are so like off track here.
I mean,
because
if he stowed away, he was the one that they think stowed away maybe on the...
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what makes them think that?
I don't fucking know, because I am not part of this crazy world, and I only put in like 45 minutes to an hour of reading right before we hopped on here. Okay. This is just shit that I gleaned in the hour before we hopped on.
I've got to reach out to my sources and be like, what the hell is this?
Is Og a giant? Was he a stowaway on the
nuttiness?
ark? And is he a Nephilim?
I feel a Twitter conversation coming on.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm an angel. No. So, okay. Anak.
Okay.
He's
Anak.
a Rephaite.
Okay.
So, just the giant people.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah, just the giant people.
Just the giant people. And he was a son of Arba. And Joshua, who we're going to be reading about here shortly in the next few books, referred to Arba as the greatest man among the Anakites.
Okay.
And he didn't mean great like, what a cool dude. He meant great like giant.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Like, it's really hard to sometimes suss this out even in English, because like great means cool and awesome and good, right? But no, they meant great like super tall.
Got it.
Okay. But here's another thing. Do you know what else was it Rephaite or Anakite? Damn, I keep getting these confused. One of those words totally doesn't matter, okay?
But in the grand scheme, yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. But one of those words also means necklace. Like, what? Huh? What? Okay, so great neck is what they are also taking that as.
Okay.
And great naked people, whatever, like of long necks, like...
Got it.
Not quite like a giraffe, maybe, but like that.
Got it.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I like got all out of... This was just so all over the place. This shit was scattershot.
Right.
Okay. So they were tall people, giants. They were also called the Emites.
Yeah, I think they refer to that in the chapter.
They did. They were as strong and numerous and tall as the Anakites. So they were just another race of giants. Or another race of tall people. Got it. I don't fucking know. Okay.
Just giants abound.
Giants abound. And then both of those races of people were also known, the Emites and the Anakites were called Rephaites.
Okay.
But.
Whatever,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the Rephaim. So, which ones? I don't know. But the Rephaim... They've also been considered the residents of the netherworld, or Sheol. So not only are they sometimes called like the people of the necklaces or the people of the great necks or the long necks.
Yeah.
They were also called ghosts and spirits and the afterlife and...
Interesting.
Right? Like, what? I thought you were a giant. Weird. Now you're a giant ghost? Are you a fucking poltergeist or are you tall? I don't know what you are, sir.
I'm confused.
Identify yourself.
I'm very confused.
You and your necklace are fucking confusing.
Yeah.
So, one more thing.
One more?
There's only one reference of the word Zamzamite.
And that was,
That was in there.
Yeah.
There's only one reference of that word in the Bible.
Okay.
And they were supposed to be yet another type of Rephaite, more giants.
More giants.
Sure,
right.
More giants.
Okay.
It's a Hebrew word, though, which literally translates into buzzers, or the people whose speech sounds like buzzing. So there's yet another theory that these people were not necessarily giants, that there was some kind of mistranslation, and that they gave this word that became known as giant, but that actually meant like y'all talk funny.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How, like, you hear somebody with a southern accent, you're like, must be a redneck.
Sure.
And then, like...
I mean, I can see, then you play the game of telephone.
You play the game of telephone. When actually, like, redneck came from somewhere that wasn't even Texas. It came from, like, I think, like, I don't know.
It was something to do with, like,
the coal mines
and
unionizing. And I want to say, like, West Virginia or some shit like that.
Sure.
I don't fucking know.
Somewhere. But it was definitely something union-based from what I understand.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But we don't we don't think of redneck to mean that today.
No,
we think of it to mean...
Today we would associate unions with left wing, and we would associate rednecks with right wing, so they definitely departed ways at some point.
Exactly. So imagine like 50, 100, 500 years from now, like what's it going to mean at that point?
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And that is what is suggested.
What happened to
that
the
all
Zamzamites?
The zums. All I want to do is zoom, and a boom, boom. Just shake your rump.
You got anything else, or was that about it?
That killed it right there with the zoom and the boom, boom.
Well, we are not going daily tomorrow, so Wednesday is an off day. Mm-hmm. Thursday we will have one episode. Friday we'll have an episode. Saturday we'll have a Q&A. And Sunday we'll have the weekly roundup for the first time.
Yep.
And we'll be daily out after that. So
starting Monday, yeah.
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 So we will see you guys on Thursday as usual right now. Yep. And everybody have a great start to your new year here.
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
So that ends this week's Q&A.
If you have questions, answers, or comments, please email them to us by next Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern, to be included in next Tuesday's Q&A episode.
Awesome. See ya.
Bye.